Chen Hao called his wife from the third-floor landing because both hands were full. His work bag hung from one shoulder, and a paper sack of oranges pressed against his chest. Behind the locked door, Lin Yuwei's phone began to ring. No footsteps followed. Chen called again. The ringtone sounded deeper inside, steady and unanswered. Later, police would reduce the mystery to 12 minutes. On that landing, Chen knew only that his key was catching, and the apartment had become unnaturally still. 12 minutes before the first unanswered call, Yuwei was leaving a neighborhood market with frozen buns for dinner. She had just phoned her coworker Jia for steaming instructions, and joked that Chen might believe she had planned the meal. Then she checked a message from the officer handling her family's disappearance. 6 months earlier, on her wedding day, her parents and older brother had vanished within hours of one another. There was still no lead. Yuwei slipped away her phone and walked home. Near the bicycle racks, she noticed a woman in a red coat. The evening was mild, yet the stranger wore a hood, mask, and dark gloves. Leafy vegetables filled the basket of her bicycle. When Yuwei passed, the woman lowered her face. Nothing demanded panic. It only felt slightly wrong, and slightly wrong is easy to forgive when home is one flight away and dinner is waiting. Yuwei entered the building. Seconds later, the stairwell door opened behind her. She had barely set down her groceries when someone knocked. Yuwei opened the door a few inches. The woman in red raised one gloved hand, and a sharp mist struck Yuwei's eyes. The grocery bag fell. Frozen buns rolled across the tile. Blinded and coughing, Yuwei fought toward the kitchen sink, then changed direction for the front door. She clawed the attacker's wrist, tore fibers from one glove, and nearly escaped. The struggle ended in the narrow hall before the bedroom. At 6:10, Jia called back. Yuwei's phone rang beside an overturned lamp. At 6:43, Chen reached the landing and heard the same sound. His door opened 6 inches before striking the fallen groceries. Inside, evening light showed everything too clearly. Yuwei's purse, her wallet, the blood along the hallway wall. Chen followed it to the bedroom. He called emergency services, then backed toward the entrance, leaving one bloody handprint behind him. When police arrived, he kept repeating that the door had been locked. Captain Luo Jian studied the scene after sunset. Nothing valuable was missing. The lock was undamaged. The groceries had fallen just inside the entrance, proving Yuwei was interrupted almost immediately after returning. Luo ordered his officers to build every minute. The market receipt read 5:54. Yuwei's call ended shortly after 6 o'clock. Jia's first unanswered call came at 6:10. Whatever had happened began, escalated, and went quiet inside a 12-minute window. The locked door was not the mystery. The visitor was. Chen became the first obvious suspect, but work records, traffic cameras, and phone data placed him across the city. He admitted arguing with Yuwei about her missing family. He wanted her to sleep, eat, and stop treating every unknown number like a clue. Yuwei believed surrender would make the disappearance permanent. Before leaving the station, Chen handed Luo her worn family folder. On the cover, beneath 3 names and the date of their wedding, Yuwei had written one sentence: "They did not leave together." The forensic evidence gave the attacker a shape. Skin beneath Yuwei's nails came from an unknown woman. Torn fibers matched a synthetic glove. A partial print suggested a flat shoe, size 39. Irritation around Yuwei's eyes contained residue from a compact defensive spray. Cameras near the building then revealed the red coat. The woman entered at 5:56 and left behind the building at 6:08. She had also passed the gate the previous day, watching Yuwei's third-floor windows from beside the bicycle racks. The coat, mask, bicycle, and vegetables were not identity. They were costume. Officers traced the bicycle for 2 blocks before finding it wiped clean. Suspects close to Yuwei had motives but firm alibis. Then chemistry produced the first break. The spray matched a product sold by a small group of online vendors. One order included both a spray and a push dagger matching the wound profile. A gaming cafe backup camera captured the buyer's face, height, and distinctive outward turning right foot. The package had been shipped to Duan Rui, a warehouse driver who claimed he accepted it for an online friend. Traffic cameras placed his gray sedan near Yuwei's neighborhood during the murder. Surveillance led police from Rui to the cafe buyer, Wei Lian, a former insurance clerk who had abandoned her job, marriage, and family. Inside her rented house, officers found the red coat, matching shoes and torn gloves. Her DNA matched the cells beneath Yuwei's nails. Wei admitted using the spray and dagger. She knew Yuwei's schedule, Chen's working hours, and the safest route away from the building. Yet when Luo asked what Yuwei had done to her, Wei looked confused. "Nothing to me," she said. She was his enemy. The murder finally had a second shadow. Wei called the man Teacher North. He had found her through an online spiritual group, praised her intelligence, then isolated her from everyone who questioned him. His first test made her quit her job. His second made her leave her husband. His third made her abandon her parents, siblings, friends, and teenage daughter. Luo drew 3 columns on a pad. Saw, was told, chose. Wei had seen almost nothing about Yuwei. She had been told pages of hatred. What she chose was murder. Rui filled in the practical steps. He received the package, stored the weapons, drove Wei to the district, waited beyond the cameras and collected her afterward. Rui also knew Teacher North used prepaid phones, rented property through followers, and walked with a limp. More important, the teacher possessed private details about Yuwei's family warehouse and her wedding day. Luo reopened the disappearance file. 3 missing relatives had always been treated as one event. The evidence had never proved that. Chen remembered a wedding video recorded before the ceremony. In the background, an unseen man warned that some doors should remain closed for mercy. A reflection in a glass cabinet showed a narrow face and a stiff left leg. Yuwei's missing brother, Lin Yuwei, had carried that limp since childhood. Fang Mei Lin finally admitted her husband had joined the same band movement. On the wedding morning, Jiwan left before dawn to confront his parents over money, property, and control of the family warehouse. Luo showed Wei a photograph of him. Her expression changed before she could stop it. He said that name was dead, she whispered. At the rented house, police found men's clothing, medication for chronic leg pain, prepaid phones, surveillance photographs, and draft messages containing the loyalty tests. Jiwan had fled through a rear window minutes before the raid. One of his followers drove him toward the old family warehouse, the last place Yuwei had demanded police search before she was killed. The warehouse stood behind a corrugated gate, officially unopened for months. Officers entered through a side door and heard Jiwan's voice from behind temporary walls. "You should have left the doors closed." The tactical team moved toward the sound, but Luo noticed fresh concrete dust and tracks where heavy shelving had shifted. A carved cabinet from the family home stood beside it. Chen, watching from the doorway, identified the cabinet. Then officers found a damaged wedding bracelet in the dust. It belonged to Yuwei's mother. Jiwan tried to escape through a concealed service passage, but the door jammed halfway. Officers pulled away the panel and found him trapped between concrete walls, clutching a prepaid phone. His left leg dragged when they brought him out. Without the darkness and borrowed title, he looked smaller than the authority he projected online. Search crews moved the shelving and cut into the new concrete. Beneath it were 2 burial spaces containing Yuwei's parents. They had died on the morning of the wedding. The first crime had used confusion as camouflage. Jiwan lured his parents to the warehouse by promising reconciliation, killed them after they refused his demands, then abandoned his phone so 3 disappearances would resemble one coordinated departure. Yuwei eventually separated the timelines. She traced her brother's cash withdrawals, his followers, and his access to the warehouse. When she requested another search and contacted a former employee, Jiwan learned she was close. He gave Wei a photograph, an address, a schedule, and an order. The evidence restored every divided choice to its owner. Wei entered the apartment and used the weapon. Rui purchased, transported, weighted, collected, and concealed. Jiwan selected the target, created the lie, and monitored the result. A recovered message sent after Jia's unanswered call, but before Chen came home, read, "It is finished. Do not contact me until the code and bicycle are gone." Jiwan claimed Wei misunderstood spiritual language. Luo answered with 4 words from his own messages: target, schedule, weapon, confirmation. 11 months later, all 3 were convicted. Wei was found guilty of Yuwei's murder. Rui received a long sentence for deliberate assistance, transportation, concealment, and destruction of evidence. Jiwan was convicted of directing his sister's killing and murdering both parents. After the trial, Chen returned home and finally steamed the frozen buns from Yuwei's last call. He set 2 bowls on the table, returned one to the cabinet, and ate alone while bicycles passed beneath the window and ordinary voices climbed the stairs. Months after the convictions, a digital analyst sent Luo one final report. Copies of Teacher North's 3 loyalty tests had appeared under other accounts. Some were automated reposts. Others contained replies written after Jiwan's arrest. In another city, a woman sat near the back of an almost empty bus. 1 week earlier, she had quit her job after a stranger praised her courage. A message appeared as the bus entered a tunnel. Now prove that no person owns you. Tunnel lights crossed her face in regular intervals. She looked at the family photograph on her lock screen, opened the message, closed it, then opened it again. Her thumb hovered above the reply field. At the bottom of the conversation, 3 dots appeared, vanished, and returned. Jiwan was in prison, Wei was in prison, Rui was in prison, but someone on the other side of the screen was still typing, and the bus was carrying her deeper beneath the city.